Question everything. For the truth should not be televised, and that's for sure. So with that, a little something different today, because you got to question everything, right? And I'm not very much a religious person, and I'm not very much the gods of earth person. And what I mean about that. Let's just be frank here. Let me do some talking. I look at religion and I see a lot of stuff that's going on, with a lot of the belief tied to it. Belief to me and what I understand for belief is witchcraft. Witchcraft does exist, just like voodoo do exist. But when it comes to the creator, I believe it's an all creator that created everything. Yes. Excuse my language. Let me say that. I have faith that there's an all creator that created everything. So with that statement, when I talk about gods, they talk about many gods. There's many different gods. You talk about the Anunnaki. I hear a lot of people talk about that, and that's interesting. You can look up some of that stuff. You can go and check out the book of Enki, and that breaks down a lot of that type of stuff as well. You got the Nephilim, the fallen angels. You hear about all that stuff. The archons. It's a lot of stuff like that that's out there. So it's a lot of stuff. When it comes to dealing in the areas of religion, just as much as a lot of stuff in dealing in the gods of earth with the book of Thoth and the Emerald Tablets and all that stuff there, and meditating and dealing with the different chakras and aligning your chakras. So it's a whole world over here, and it's a whole world over here as well when it comes to the both sides. Dealing with the gods of earth or dealing with religious basis. The question is, I'm in the middle, and why I don't know. I don't know what is really the soul truth over here. Nor do I know what the real soul truth is over here. So, I study a lot and I research a lot, and I'm gonna say the more I study, the more I'm leaning this way in a way, on a rock, so to say, because I'll lean and I'll come back, and I'll lean and I'll come back, and I'll lean and look over here, and I'll study biblical history and the breakdown of different books, anywhere from the book of Enoch, the book of Ruth, the book of Maccabees. I go in, I do Deuteronomies, I check out, Revelation. So I'll go both, areas, because I try to study a little bit of everything. But at the same time, we dealing with living this life, this human experience, becoming older, getting these gray hairs, and you start to contemplate the theory of life and what it really means, and what is the purpose here, and why are we working, and why are we wasting our lives every single day to chase down all sorts of material gain, and what do that mean for us? And generational wealth, is that an illusion? Is it a reality? Because you're not going to be on the planet when it actually get passed off. How do all this stuff work? What it would break down to really being about? You get 8 hours in a day, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours at night, and at the end of the day, 8 hours in a day, you use it mostly working all day. What is really freedom is about? All these things are questions that you look to get answers to. What it means to be a God. If you are made in the God's image and made in the God essence, don't you think that you should have that God reality then within yourself? And if God made you, and he made you in his image and in his essence, wouldn't you be sort of like a God in his whole? And if you are sort of like a God in his whole, because you was made in his image and made in his essence and in his reality, then where's your God power? You feel what I'm saying? And if eating right and balancing your chakras and meditating and tuning into your spiritual self in that sense can balance you into a reality of giving you some sort of astral projection of your inner essence, bringing this God power to you, is that a real truth? These are just thoughts, right? At the same time, if God created me in his image and created me to worship him and to follow his law, statutes, and commandments, and to worship him in the sense of honoring him in every which way that I go about living this human experience that I have as a life. Is that the right way? Am I doing it right? You know, to eat certain foods, to talk a certain way, to dress a certain way, to walk, be a certain way. Can I uphold that in a system that's set up like this under an empire like we have today called United States government? Is it feasible for me to do it? Can I afford it? You know, these are real questions, you know, that I hear a lot of people and see a lot of people trying to absorb and understand for themselves. And be honest, I'm one of those people, you know. I'm like, you know, I meditate, I work out, I'm a vegan, you know. I try to keep myself in line and in tune with what it means to be in God's image, but at the same time, I got over here in the air the law, statutes, and commandments, and how I'm supposed to carry myself, and how I'm supposed to be upright, honorable, and just. At the same time, strive to be righteous, and you know, respect the Sabbath, and you know, do all these different things that I'm supposed to do over here. And it's like, you know, it becomes a tug of war, and sort of say within yourself. And as you tug of war, and it's like, who's right, who's wrong, where to go, what to do, why. You know, at the end of the day, it can breed confusion. You know, I done studied a lot of different avenues of things to bring out a lot of different information, not just for myself, but for many other people to be able to communicate and have, you know, real good understanding for the different types of histories that are out there, because there are many. You know, some people say Egypt is in Africa, you know, with the 3 pyramids, and some say Egypt in America with the thousands of pyramids, and the Nile River was the Mississippi River, and now the Nile River is over here, and it is in Africa, and so it's a lot of different studies and the different thoughts and theories, and it's like, where are we going with it, you know? And how do it help as the human, well, the spiritual being having a human experience? How do it help you? And is it to each his own? You know, you pick where you fit in at. You know, some people say, if you pass over, if you get deleted off the planet, go into the light. Well, I say run away from the light. Well, why is that? Well, that's just how my spirit feels. I feel like I don't want to go into the light. I want to go the opposite way while everybody else is going into the light. That's just me. What is in the opposite direction? Nobody really talks about it. What if I just don't want to move and I don't want to deal with the light or go the other way? I just want to stand right there. What is going to entail in that? Well, some people say if you go into the light, that's the moon and the who is it? The archons trapping you back into, you know, another body and recycling you back to the earth. Thus, that's why the guy that sits on the moon with the fishing hook and the rod, he's fishing for souls. So if you go into the light, you're going to be recycled. Some say if you don't go into the light and you go the other way, then you manifest into your spirit and into your soul, and you escape, you know, this reality, and are able to go to the other realms and the other different realities of life that, you know, on a spiritual level, with this your original form and your original power that brings you into a whole nother celestial plane. You know, I don't know. I never really left the body. You know what I mean? I'm right here with you. So I don't know. But these are thoughts, right? These are things that, you know, we all are trying to really sort of figure out for ourselves, I would think. But I don't know. These are just my questions. So what do you think? You know, when it comes to the religious aspect of it or the God aspect of it, how do you feel about it? Do you play the meditation and the balancing the chakras and finding yourself to be able to astral project in the sense of your spiritual self in that way? Or is you more about the God and worshiping the God and following the law, statutes, and commandments of the God and going that way? how do it work for you? Let me know what